Hello beautiful people from the internet, it is Connie over here. It is a very busy afternoon in a holiday day here in Portugal, and I decided I wanted to come to talk to you guys about vaping, which is something that I don't talk about that much on this channel. Even though I am a smoking YouTuber, I guess, I really don't like calling myself that, but I do videos about smoking, but mainly cigarettes, right? A lot of people ask me a lot of questions about vaping. Why don't I vape? Why don't I bring more vapes into the channel? Etc, etc. And today I am going to be talking about that while, I guess, hitting my vape that I've had for like 6 months now, and somehow it still has smoke. I mean, I hit this like once every month, so that's maybe why it still has so much smoke. But let's go, let's hit it. So honestly, I used to always think that vaping, especially with nicotine, was something that was very stupid. If you want to have nicotine in your system, you already have cigarettes, and cigarettes taste bad, you know? And I feel like if you really want to smoke something and have the buzz of the nicotine, you have to go through the flavor of the cigarette and get used to it and like start to enjoy smoking. But I feel like this is a very, very conservative way for me to think. So I'm very open to like hearing you guys' perspectives on this. But I've always thought, you know, why are vapes so colorful? They seem so bright, so appealing to younger children. And cigarettes, you know, they are getting progressively uglier. They have those like really ugly pictures, at least here in Europe. I can't even show you, but it has a very ugly picture depicting, you know, what could happen if you smoke for a very long time. And vapes, I don't really see that happening, you know. I see vapes in very bright, colorful, pastel-colored packs, and I look at them and I'm like, I really want to try that. It seems like it tastes really good. And I feel like that's a problem, you know. I feel like if people are trying to reduce the amount of smokers that exist in the world, and I understand that when they say that, they are mainly talking about cigarette smokers. But if that's what they are trying to do, why are vapes so appealing? Like this one is not appealing at all because I ripped the sticker out of it. It used to have like a blue sticker with like some blueberries or whatever, because this is blueberry flavored. Oh, by the way, this is a zero nicotine, THC free CBD vape, so it has no nicotine, no THC, it's just CBD. I have never smoked a vape, or I've never vaped with nicotine. I've only ever had 2 vapes. This is my second one, and they both have been nicotine free. And I have my reasonings to do that. So I feel like, first of all, I will never buy a nicotine vape, whether it would be a disposable, which I will never buy a disposable again, and I will be talking about that more, you know, in the future of this video. But I will never have a nicotine vape, because they can be smoked inside, you know, they don't leave that like nasty smell that cigarettes do. You can just pick it up, hit it, get a nice like strawberry, whatever, blueberry, banana flavor, you get your nicotine intake, you put it back down, and you continue doing what you are doing. Now I feel like that is something very dangerous, because for me, if I want to have nicotine, I have to get up from whatever I am doing, I have to take my booty outside, light a cigarette, go through the hassle of where am I going to ash this, where am I going to throw it away, having to light it, relight it if it's windy outside. You know, it's a way more difficult experience, although it's not difficult at all, but it's more difficult than just hitting your vape. And then I feel like if I had such easy access to nicotine right next to me, like this vape I have, I would be constantly hitting it, and I would just become really addicted to nicotine really fast, you know, and that's not something that I feel like should even be advertised at all. I don't know, man. There's this new like vape shop. It's like a pop-up vape shop inside of a mall that we have here in Portugal, and it has like lots of advertisings, like such fun colors and na and whatever. And I'm like, why are we giving fun colors to things that we are saying are dangerous? I get a little confused by that. And then I feel like another reason as to why I will never smoke, or I will never vape a vape with nicotine, is because, of course I smoke, and I smoke 1 cigarette a day, and although that's not much, it's honestly not that bad, you know? It's not good, but it's not as bad as smoking like 10 cigarettes a day. And I'm actually gonna light a John Player Special, because this THC, like CBD vape is doing nothing for me, so let's light this. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, right, I remember. So I was saying that I think that another very big reason as to why I will never vape with nicotine is because although we know that the effects of smoking long-term are bad, if you smoke a lot long-term, you can have very bad health effects on you. You know, if you smoke even 1 cigarette, if you are very unlucky, it could have bad health effects on you. So smoking even one cigarette is never good. Smoking a consistent amount of cigarettes per day is even worse, you know. But we know what happens, you know. If you smoke for 40 years straight, a pack a day, you end up getting lung cancer most likely. Cigarettes will be probably the cause of you dying. With vapes, we haven't had much time to see that. We haven't had a whole generation of people that have vaped since they were 12 years old or 18 years old, all the way to the point where they were 80 years old, because vapes just haven't been around that long. So we really just don't know the effects that vapes have on people. Now, what do we know? I know that I've been seeing some interviews on YouTube of teenagers that are creating a movement to try and tell other young people to never vape, because they have vaped for whatever amount of years, like 4 or 5 years consistently every day, and they ended up in hospital with lung problems. So you know what? I will not be vaping with nicotine. It just scares me. And I may be being a little bit dramatic right now, but I don't know. I feel like it's something that really scares me, because in the long term, I don't know what it does. And I don't want to have such easy access to nicotine right next to me that I can hit at any time. If I want to smoke, I want to go through the hassle of smoking the cigarette, you know? So yeah, oh, and the reason I am never buying a disposable again, it's because I made a review for this disposable vape, and I was quite ignorant to this, but a lot of people told me in the comments that disposables are very, very bad for the environment because of the batteries that they carry. They are very hard to recycle or even do anything environmentally friendly with them. It's basically impossible. So having disposables and purchasing disposables is probably the worst thing that you can do smoking-wise to the environment. Of course, you should not be littering your cigarette butts, of course. Throw them in the trash. There's so many trash cans spread along like every single city in every part of the world. Well, maybe not every part, but you know what I'm saying, you know? If you have access to cigarettes, you probably have access to a trash can as well. So I won't buy a disposable because of that. And I am so scared of not leaving this disposable in the right place that I think what's going to end up happening is I'm going to keep this forever with me, because I don't know where to throw it away so that I don't hurt the environment. Of course, it's one disposable. It's like, it's not that big of a deal, whatever. It's just one in the middle of millions. But I still would feel kind of self-conscious and like environmentally wrong just throwing it away in a place where I know it will never be able to be recycled or reused in any way. So until they discover a way to reuse disposables, I will keep it with me. Thank you. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the topic of vaping, especially vapes with nicotine, it just scares me. It's not something that I would like to do to myself, says the girl that is smoking a cigarette. On the other hand, I know, but I just have my own ideas and I am up for debates. I will probably still never smoke a vape with nicotine, just because I feel like it's not something I want to do to myself. Also because when I smoke a cigarette, right? I'm smoking it, I smoke one cigarette a day, and I'm breathing fine, like perfectly fine. After I smoke the cigarette, at night when I'm trying to fall asleep, I breathe completely fine, I have no problems. But when I'm hitting this vape, although this has no nicotine, it just has CBD, I feel like I have some breathing difficulty sometimes, like my nose feels clogged and it feels harder to... I kind of have a little bit of shortness of breath when I hit my vape, and that is not a pleasant feeling, and I'm scared of making something really bad for my lungs, just hitting like a CBD vape. So that's kind of why I've had this for like 6 months and it still has smoke inside of it. Not smoke, but you know what I'm saying, like liquid. Still works, but I'm kind of scared of it because every time I'm hitting it like quite a lot, I feel like every time I have this right next to my computer, I'm hitting it a little bit consistently. And a few hours later, I start feeling like shortness of breath, and that is something that also scares me. So I will stay away from them. You know, I'll just keep this disposable in my bag until someone finds a way to reuse and recycle them. Until then, I'll stick to my ciggies, you know, throw them away properly, please, because here in Portugal, I don't know if this happens in the rest of the world. I would assume it does, because all humans are the same, essentially. I see so many cigarette butts and cigarette packs, like empty cigarette packs, on the floor. And then I look around a little bit to my right, a little bit to my left, and there's a trash can on both sides. And there it is, a cigarette pack lying on the floor. And I'm like, couldn't you have walked like 2 steps to your right and just throw it away? I don't know, man. I feel like sometimes people are not conscious that they can have an impact on the world if they just do these little things, you know. It doesn't take much effort. But I feel like that is not related to vapes right now, and this video is about vapes. So I guess to sum it up, nicotine vapes scare me. I will not purchase my own vaping machine because they are quite expensive. They are like $100, and then I would have to buy the liquids or oils or whatever they're called. So even if I wanted to smoke zero nicotine vapes, I would have to make the investment to purchase the machine and then purchase the oils or liquids. I don't know what it's called. It's just not something that appeals to me. I'm kind of scared of it. I don't know the very long-term consequences of it. So I will not be the one that is going to figure them out. You know, I'll let whoever wants to vape figure them out for me. I don't think it's a very safe thing to do. I am willing to, you know, read your guys' opinions on this because I feel like it's a very interesting topic. Vaping here in Portugal is not that common at all though, because disposables with nicotine are banned. They are not sold to the public. The only disposables that can be sold are without nicotine. So people that want to vape with nicotine have to make the investment to buy the whole machine, and not many people do that. You know, people either stick to IQOS, rolling tobacco, or packed cigarettes. So vaping is not that big here, which I think is cool. You know, I feel like the government has done something right in that area. But yeah, I don't know. I'm down to hear you guys' opinions. I'm really curious about what you think. So yeah, leave me some thoughts in the comments and I'll see you all very soon. Okay, bye.